You said that this thing came out of what you're referred to as the Norway spiral, and you've sort of alluded to it as being a wormhole or something like that. So the Norway spiral was an event. It's not something that's continuously there. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've actually seen video of it. It's pretty striking, and hundreds of people saw it. I think.
There's also a really. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think like the Norwegian government or something claimed that it was a missile test that went out of control and sort of spiraled off. I don't know. I guess they had to say it was something, right? But it is.
Just go to YouTube and type it in. There's many different copies, and the trick is to find an unedited one. And there's a lot of them have been chopped up, and I'm sure out there some places the original, because the original shows the darn thing actually come out of the hole, and you can see a change in the lighting in space and everything else. The copy I currently have ends right before it comes through, and I've been searching and trying to find an old one, and maybe if I have somebody in Russia or Hungary, I have a friend named Petty in Hungary, I'll ask him to look on in his area. Maybe he'll get a better copy of it. We have to do that sometimes. We have to re-import videos back to our area of the United States or Canada and everything else. They have worse internet than we have. They're blocked in so many ways you wouldn't believe. But that's government censoring, and we have tons of it. But
so you say the Empire Orb. You said that there was another sphere, that the Empire Orb is not the only one.
No, there's multiple smaller little spheres we've had captures of, even close to the Empire Orb itself, which is why we know that it's more than one. And then there's the Texas Cube, which arrived over Texas and over the Texas Collider, believe it or not, which would also back up the wormhole theory in the seventh marker. I mean, otherwise, why are they arriving directly over the top of these things? Mm-hmm. And then there's smaller cubes. There's the long box cube. Now, currently, we've had for the last 2-3 weeks sightings of the Texas Cube between the lead asteroid, and that's another of the OCG's object cluster group. The Texas Cube has been hiding behind the lead asteroid and in between Attu's moon on the left-hand side of the sun. Now, it does cross in over the top of the sun in the early parts of the day. It's changing, so it's hard to call the time. But anyway, it's on the left-hand side of the sun. And for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, the long box cube, which is very much like the Texas Cube, but it has more holes in it and more structural incompletion, shall we say. And it's twice the size of the Texas Cube. And they each have a side orb that is usually sighted exactly in the same spot time after time after time, and that has something to do with the ionization of the clouds and their cloaking abilities, because they cloak themselves using this module that creates an ion drag-off tail. When through space they come in, it's cold, and then it hits our warm atmosphere, and then all of a sudden it puts off this steam mist trail that blocks the view. They also use the sun to block the view, and our best captures are when we're getting side views of square clouds and then you can see a three-dimensional shape, and then there sits the side orb, and it's like, oh, yep, absolutely, you can't argue with it anymore. And then the lead-off clouds and the little pathways that they drag through the clouds, and the Montana Skywatcher 10,000 member plus group, they most of these people know what I'm talking about, but you literally have to see this to believe it. And keep looking up, because on the left-hand side is the Texas Cube and side orb and lead asteroid, and around the right-hand side is the Lombard, time after time after time, and it's just like we can't argue with it anymore. So, of course, it's become topic of discussion.